Hi YouTube, Mochismo Eugene. Welcome to another video from Exit Strategy. Now is not the time to start forming new distractions. No new distractions should we be trying to form by way of relationships, friendships, new hobbies, new different things, say hobbies, yeah. Hobbies, taking on extra jobs. What I'm actually talking about is things we are adopting into our life to take our mind off of things. Now, with regards to hobbies, if there's something that you've always wanted to do and you love doing it and you find enjoyment in it, well, that's another thing. But I'm talking about the things that we are just cutting and pasting to fill in the voids of our life. Because right now, we know now narcissism is at an all-time high. I don't know if it's at an all-time high because within the last 10 years or so, people have become more aware of this disorder, or is it just because of the times that we're living in biblically? I'm willing to believe it's the latter or both in conjunction together, a little bit of both. But it's undeniable that people are becoming very, very self-absorbed, very self-centered, and just very, very ego-driven to the point where they will disregard, discard you in a friendship, relationship, marriage, family unit, like nobody's business, like they never knew you. So now we have this time between us and the awakened state that we're in, or the time between the abuse and the awakened state that we are now in. Now we have these things called moments of loneliness, moments of disconnect with things that mean the most to us because of what we went through and what we've been through. It leaves a lingering effect on us. We want a relationship, a lot of us. We want to have healthy friendships. There's nothing wrong with wanting this. But I'm actually talking about this time in which we're in right now, the healing process. And I'm 4 years behind this situation, although I have endeavored and I've experienced many or a handful of narcissists after being awakened. So being awakened from the narcissist I married and a couple of other interactions with narcissists in small, short-lived relationships, friendships or whatnot, I've come to a conclusion whereas I have a lot of things that are undealt with and unfinished in my life. So those are the things that I'm focusing on more now than I've ever focused on them. There has been some setbacks, or I want to say setback. There have been some unfortunate happenings in my life in 2024. Notwithstanding the termination from my six-figure job in 2022, I believe, 23, 22, somewhere along there. So, broken foot being one of them. And 2 years prior to that, getting ran over by a whole car. Nearly lost my life in that. And these things with regards to my family situation that have taken a turn seemingly for the worst. But God is showing me where this is some time for me to focus on those things that have been unaddressed in my own life, in my personal space, cleaning the clutter out of my life, both spiritually, physically, and otherwise. So, this time that you and I have, and this may not wholeheartedly apply to you in your situation. You may be, in fact, in a relationship that's healthy as I speak. But I'm willing to believe if you're newly awakened newly healed, newly on the hunt for a healing, and you're trying to raise your vibration, it's not the best thing. I'm not going to say it's the worst thing to be trying to endeavor a new relationship. I'm not going to say it's the worst thing, but it's not so much going to serve you for the best interest of you right now, for the moment. And I didn't think I would ever be talking like this soon into my healing and awakening. But now I'm finding a peace, whereas there are so many things that are unfinished, that have been left on the back burner, left in limbo as a result of dealing with both narcissists and putting things off, because they will distract you. And now you have an opportunity to reconnect with those things that were unfinished, unaddressed, the clutter in your life. Use this time for that. And when you begin to unclutter the physical things in your life, you'll see that, wow, this is a matter of flow that is long overdue. And see, the flow that you're going into is the flow that's going to take you for the long haul. And so you don't need to be distracted and devoting parts of your time, parts of you, to other endeavors and other people and other friendships that you are going out of your way to form. And I emphasize going out of our way or in search of, because we feel that there's a void. You feel like you owe it to yourself to go and make new friends. No, you owe it to yourself to heal, elevate, isolate, and educate. Because freshly awakened, newly awakened, most people won't understand what you've gone through. So in trying to endeavor a new friendship, things will come out. Inadvertently, you will share the vibration that you have now openly. You may not call it narcissist. You may subtly speak in terms different than you did before you were awakened. And people who are not on that page with you, they will detect that. And I'll tell you something that I believe. Even people who are not narcissists, let's say unawakened empath and chosen ones, they fret when you talk intensely or matter-of-factly about these things, because you're you're connecting the dots in a way where that a person that is not awakened cannot digest. They cannot compute with what you're saying. And so what this does is this inadvertently makes them go on the defense. This is why you will see, if you try to form new friendships, you'll have people that will be hit and miss. You may not always detect that they are narcissists, but they will be here one minute and ghost the next minute. This is because they want the friendship with you, but they don't want a part of that dialogue that you're having with them, because you're a thinker. You are thinking more so than the average person, and way more so than you did before. You were a thinker to begin with, but you are a very critical thinker now. And not because you just want to be and you just want to be above everyone else. You are a critical thinker because, in light of what we know about the matrix, how we see it plays itself out in day-to-day life, we see the majority of people are going along to get along. And we know undeniably that is the way the programming is designed to be. And it's manufactured predominantly by narcissists for control and financial gain. And we're playing our positions like we're supposed to, like it's by design. The positions are being played. And the only people who are winning, the ones who are orchestrating this madness behind closed doors. So for multiple reasons, that's just one or two I pointed out. Stand back, take a breath, and just observe. And if you're like me, you'll find day to day spaces that you may think you want this or you want that, you want to endeavor to do this or have this or that type of friendship or person in your space. And you'll find out in no time at all, wow, you really don't truly desire that, like that thought popped in your head, because you have so many things that your attention is being called for. And when I say so many things, they're just simple things in and around your house, in and of your life, to the point where you pull the plug on that thought and you say, man, I don't even have time to bother with this or that. I need to address this in my life. I need to straighten up a certain area of my life. I need to arrange certain aspects of my day-to-day life. Structure my life in a way where I want it to be. And I've always wanted it to be. So anyone that comes into my life, if I already have that structure, I don't have to spend time addressing different things or being distracted from the structure I'm trying to gain right now that I have this time and this space. So this time and space you have is affording you structure, consistent structure. And I'm not saying you wasn't consistent in many things, but I'm going to show you, you were distracted and you were diverted by way of the narcissist from being the best you could be. You wasn't at peak performance. If you were exhausted on one end and neglecting something on the other end. Now you can form an equal balance to the point where not only you forming it, but you have self-satisfaction in it. You don't have anyone critiquing you. You don't have anybody belittling your efforts, because you know they're genuine to begin with. Nor are you looking for anyone's support and bravo and way to go and woohoo. You don't need that. The narcissist amped us up to believe that we needed this. And in some weird way, they put that needle in our vein, and that's what we yearned for. And we didn't know that we were like a dog to a dog bone. They gave us a treat and we were right back at their knees looking up for another one. Subconsciously. That's the reverse validation. Their spirit, their empty lack of self-awareness, and their insatiable desire for validation, they offload that persona to us to the point where they have us mimicking their behavior. No, we're the leaders. We're the leaders of good conduct. We're the leaders of genuineness. We are the leaders, forerunners of authenticity. They are the leaders of fake, phony facades. And I'm giving credit where credit is due. By the grace of God, we are those people. With or without the narcissist, we are okay. But we do know with them, we ended up being not okay. And so these friendships that you seem to think you may need or yearn for, they could very well trip you up and you'll have to start back at square one. So use this time that you have. Use this time, alone time, the isolation time, the space that you have, whereas you don't have to cater to a friendship. You don't have to play guest to a relationship and all the other different things that will cause you to have to devote your attention and your energies to. Use this time, this valuable time that you have, even these times where you feel like there is nothing that you desire to do. In your stillness, take your time with yourself, and that motivation will come, because you will think, wow, I'd rather be doing this because it needs my attention, rather than yearning for something that will need my attention as well. But this thing here is priority, and I've put it off too long. That being said, bless.